Hello, and welcome to our Pride Month special. It's June once again, and I threw out a movie just because, here's one I don't like. I enjoy enough, and apparently you've never seen it, so I'm like, let's watch that one.
It's one that I had meant to get around to. It's just I never had, and I had seen enough of the bits of it where it was just kind of like,
You kind of got that. You kind of got the gist of it, as it were.
yes.
All right, so I'm Nick. This is Lance, and this month, or for Pride Month, we're going to talk about the Birdcage, and it was a brief discussion of doing an old school or new school, but the other one's like French, and
I didn't even know the.
I knew it was a remake of like an old play, but I don't know much about the old one at all.
I was at work. I was in a place today, and a person that was in that place asked me if we were doing the old one or a new one. And I was like, I had no idea there was an old one. He's like, yeah. And then he came over and showed me on his phone. Even sent me a Wikipedia article about the old one.
Okay.
Which is pronounced...
La Cage aux Folles?
Yes.
Something? It didn't mean the crazy cage or the bird cage or something, I don't know.
Yeah. But I kind of glanced over the... Wikipedia article real quick, and then I thought about bringing that up to you. And then you made a very, very interesting and very sound call on doing an old school versus new school. Is that it's in French, it's super old, and probably no one wants to watch that.
Yeah. And I don't know if it'll be a comparison per se. It's like I'm usually hesitant to bring up old schools or new school where like, man, this one's amazing and this one is generally loved and generally reviled. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I could see that. I could totally see that.
Yeah. I mean, it bears watching and figuring out for yourself, but still.
Who knows?
Yeah.
If enough people, and I mean over 3 people comment about it.
if enough people are interested in La Cage aux Folles.
We're movie whores. We'll go back and watch anything.
Oh, yeah. As long as it's watchable. This one, at least as of May, so hopefully still in June, is free on YouTube.
Yes.
I mean, if you don't have YouTube Premium, you'll get to watch the ads every 10 minutes or whatever, but still.
I mean, it's better than a sharp stick in the eye.
Yeah.
Which is one of the ads that comes up.
And then if you're watching on YouTube and you happen to have an ad blocker, I mean, then it's a totally free movie.
Not really, because you're already paying for it.
No, I'm paying for YouTube.
Yes, which means it's not free. YouTube should be free.
I mean...
It's so stupid. Like, you pay for, like, Hulu and Paramount Plus and all those other things, and you still have to watch fucking ads in that, too.
Yeah, that I don't agree with.
That's like a kick in the dick.
Well, I think originally when TV came out, they were like, there's not going to be any ads on this. You're paying for it. And then the ads started getting snuck in.
I hate... It's
and that until the point where it was just, like, accepted.
Not by me. It's from now until the end of time. Every single time I see a fucking ad on any kind of YouTube thing, I was like, I'll never buy that. I'll never buy that thing. I don't care if it's like fucking cock enlarging pills that are guaranteed to work. I won't buy them. I won't. Or I'll just speed through the ad real quick.
Yeah.
But still. No.
All right. So, this was your first viewing, Lance. On a scale from 0 to 10, what would you give The Birdcage?
I would give this movie a solid 7.
Is that what I put? I think that's what I put. That is what I put. So I figured I don't want to go too high.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. Robin Williams, great. Nathan Lane, great. I hated the kids.
Yeah, I think that's... I don't know. I guess we'll get into it, but I think the son is kind of the antagonist or whatever you want to call it. In a way.
There's a lot of it to go around, but we'll discuss that. So, Nick... On a scale from 0 to 10, what did you think?
I think also a 7.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
I got one right.
Good, you didn't scale yourself down because I do enjoy this movie.
Yeah. Oh, it was.
I enjoy Robin Williams, Nathan Lane, Hank Azaria. They're all amusing.
Gene Hackman's great.
Yeah. One of Callista Flockhart's early roles, and she was fine.
Yeah, she is fine.
She did this a year before Ally McBeal, I think it was.
Really?
This was 96. I checked. I'm like, it's like I was watching. I'm like, oh yeah, Ally McBeal's in this, and then I like checked the date, and it was 96 for the Birdcage, 97 for the start of Ally McBeal.
Interesting. So when I saw her initially, I was like, is that the girl from an Amber Girls, Ally McBeal? Like, real fucking fast. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, that's totally her. I was like, oh
and
okay.
I think she's also married to Harrison Ford. I don't know if she still is.
I have heard that. I think she still is.
I think so, too.
I think they're tight like two ass cheeks.
Mm-hmm.
I forget who's Gene Hackman's wife was in this movie. For some reason,
something Wiest.
So Diane Wiest.
Diane Wiest. Yeah. Let me go back to IMDb real quick. Just so we've got it queued up. I mean,
I sped past. I didn't look.
Okay. We named pretty much everyone except for, I guess, the son.
Yeah, Diane Wiest.
Dan Futterman. I don't know him.
Old Dan Futterman.
Oh, and I guess we also Christine Baranski is in it kind of briefly.
Yeah.
And for the most part, I recognize the photographer from it's Grant Hislov. He was in True Lies, I think. Wasn't he one of the one that got like shot by the missile in True Lies?
You know, I feel like you're right.
I think that's why I recognized him.
But he must have really kind of jacked up because he looks really skinny right there.
So I guess it's at least in May, hopefully still in June. It's on YouTube, and if not, I recommend this movie to like track down and watch. Oh, there we go. I was correct. I recommend tracking down this movie to watch. I don't know if it was a cult classic or if it was actually just a classic, because cult classics tend to pick up after a poor initial showing. I don't know if this one did poorly originally or if it's always been.
I don't remember, but I do remember that there was a lot of buzz around this one when it came out. Yeah, I don't know.
So I would suggest track it down before we get into spoilers, which, if you don't know what the movie's about, I mean, it's worth watching. I mean, we're bringing it up on Pride Month, so you have some idea of what it's about.
I mean, I'll definitely watch the movie again.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Yeah, I think I will too.
I mean, it's like almost everything that Robin Williams in is close to being gold. It's like 1 hour photo. I didn't so much enjoy that movie, but it was interesting.
I've never seen that one.
He plays a weirdo. Yeah,
I know the premise, I suppose, but I've never actually gone back to watch it. All right, so I guess spoilers from here on out. So as I tend to do after I watch a movie, I was flipping through IMDb to read like the trivia or whatever, and apparently this was supposed to be a Robin Williams and Steve Martin movie with Steve Martin in Robin Williams' role and Robin Williams and Nathan Lane's role.
That makes sense.
But Robin Williams was I think Steve Martin couldn't do it because of scheduling or whatever, and then Robin Williams ended up switching because he was too similar to Miss Doubtfire, I guess. It would be another role where he's pretending to be a woman briefly.
Interesting. So
he went to the other role, and then Nathan Lane was cast.
I think it was a good call.
It was good.
Because Nathan Lane is a national fucking treasure.
He's really good in this movie.
I love that man. He's right up there with oh god, what's it? I got the George, the fucking actor that everyone loves. It was like one of Norm's best friends. He always talks like this.
Gilbert Gottfried?
No, it's the other old guy. He was in. I got the Yabba from Scrubs.
The one that played Ted?
No. Richard Kind.
Richard Kind, okay.
Like, he's right up there with Richard Kind with me, because that dude is like, he's awesome in everything he's in, too. And he always plays Richard Kind.
He kind of does, yeah.
Yeah, but he's but yeah, I didn't expect to like this movie as much as I did. The things I did not like about the movie is I hated the kids.
Yeah, then they kind of sucked.
But I mean, there was enough of it to go around on both sides. Like, I understood their point of view. You had this.
It's he wants to marry her, and her father is a conservative senator. And he's like, well, we want to get married, Dad. He is going to forbid the wedding if he comes over here and meets you as you truly are. And
he did anyways. And it happened anyways.
Yeah.
And
I think the lying is worse, but I don't know. Well, I don't know what goes on in the minds of deeply prejudiced people to the point where, like, is lying better? Would it be better just to never know, or would you just want to like just tell me up front so I could tell you you're forbidden before I even meet them?
Well, I mean, it's like if you love him enough and you know that your dad's going to act a certain way, it's like why even? Like, don't even invite him. Mm-hmm. Like, just tell them no.
Yeah, it's like they want to meet your parents. It's like it's probably better not.
Well, I mean, I think it would have been easier if he would have just said his parents are dead.
Yeah, or something.
And they would have
passed that off like just send this along, and maybe we'll break the news to him once we're married or something like that.
Yeah.
Rather than just be like, how about you get rid of change your apartment for me? Mm-hmm. I mean, you're still over a drag club. Maybe they won't see it, I guess, but they'll still be like when they were driving down the street and they're like, "Oh, they came here first, and this stuff all got built around them."
I mean, it could be.
It could be true.
But I mean, it was off to a bad lying point in the beginning when they said he was a procurer of like artifacts or something like that, and like that whole thing just got built really weird. Yeah. Hank Azaria was fucking hilarious.
He was good. I liked him.
Yeah, like the part that made me laugh the loudest is when he was like, "Make dinner." And he was like, "What?" And he's like, "Make dinner for us." And then when they came out, he put the soup. When they're looking at the bowls,
they're looking at the bowls of they're Greek.
Yeah, and like he puts the soup in the bowls real fast. But like the part that made me laugh the hardest was when they all go, and then they all reached for bread at the same time. That shit had me fucking rolling, man. That was so funny. Yeah. And then he was like, "There's no entree." He was like,
"It's soup. It's
I put all the ingredients in the soup."
It's like when he goes in and he's just like bawling or whatever.
Yeah.
And the son is like, "What's going on? It's just there's no entree." It's like it's soup.
He had a handful of shrimp. Just put the shrimp on a tray or something.
Yeah, that's a seafood stew. The shrimp's supposed to go with it.
With the egg that was in it too. Like it was so fucking bizarre. It looked like watery cranberry sauce with like a fucking egg in it.
Yeah. Oh, it's like you just make soup and just like hard boiled egg and drop that in there.
Yeah, like if anything, just like order from a restaurant and put it on a plate. You know,
and say you're servant maid or whatever.
Ugh.
But I guess the assumption is like you know how to cook, right? And him not just saying like, "Oh, I can't cook."
I think he said, "I do." that would have been the indicator. Been like, "Yeah, let me just I'll order something." Mm-hmm. But yeah, like he was just pure. He was great. I loved when they were all singing on the piano. I could have danced all night, like that. And then he opened up the thing and like went into the loud belt, like that shit was just so damn good. Robin Williams, of course, he was fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. Nathan Lane, from the time he showed up on camera to the time he left the camera, was fucking destroying it.
It was good.
He was chewing up the scenery. He was so good.
That's I think one of my favorite ones is like when he Robin Williams is dressed in the suit and the son's dressed in the suit, and Nathan Lane comes into the suit and just kind of like sits down and like crosses his legs and kind of like. And he's like, "No good." They're like, "Oh God, no."
Yeah, you're even more overt wearing the suit. Yeah.
It's like, what's with the socks?
I wanted to have something with a little bit of color in it. And then they just stare silently, and he's like, "You hate it, okay? You hate it." Yeah. I think my other favorite part of the movie was Dad marrying a woman. What? I won't have it. You're cut off from the family. Never come back to the club. If you leave out that door, never come back. And he's like, "Okay." And he's like, "Great, fine." And then he would do the handshake. And he's like, "All right, bye." And then he's like, "Get over here. You called my bluff." And he was like, "It was really good this time." He's like, "Was it?" You could tell like he's a good father, and they have a good relationship. What confused me at the beginning of that is why he was hiding the son from his partner. And it's like he's going to come up here and like start crying and everything like that. I get that.
I wonder if it was just drama before the show, maybe.
I don't know. It's like he was hiding him, and then he just kind of like blurted it out. And it's like, "Why didn't you tell me?" And he's like, "Surprise." But I guess
maybe that was supposed to be it too.
The way he said it was kind of like you were going to find out anyways, kind of a thing. But that just confused me because I guess you needed the added drama of he could be like dating a younger man.
Yeah, I wonder if that's all. It was only meant to be maybe Robin Williams is cheating.
Yeah, and then it was strange. Some of the stuff that was stuck in there, I just thought was kind of like weird calls, like the girl doing the memorization of like the old play and everything like that, and like her getting into him and stuff, like doing his buttons and shit. And it's like, he's gay. You know he's gay. Mm-hmm. You had a kid with him. You know, like, why are you even pressing the point? but you could tell she was, I guess, enamored with him.
Maybe.
When they were younger. I think it was like they said they were in their 20s or something like that. But yeah, this movie was highly enjoyable from beginning to end. It was like watching like Dinner for Schmucks. Anything that can possibly go wrong will go wrong.
Yeah, and it's definitely got that kind of awkward comedy to it at points.
Yeah, like
where it's two families that wouldn't mesh together normally. Try to sit down and one pretend to be like them or whatever.
I just couldn't understand why they weren't like digging on his performance of being the mom. I thought he was fucking destroying it.
He was good, doing pretty good.
I thought he was great. Like the senator's just like, I really like her. Like down home, like, all American girl. It's like feeling like the mom's like something's fucky around here.
Exactly. Nothing's wrong with her. She's amazing. She's the way all women should be.
And he's one of these what devil may care fucking like doesn't let her say anything or have any word in the relationship.
Yeah, one of those Euro trash.
Yeah, like it was just. I thought it was funny. The other line I thought was the thing that Clinton got wrong was gays in the military. And Nathan Lane said, well, Alexander the Great was gay. Talk about gays in the military. I was like, fucking swish. Like, that was literally fade back fucking swish. Like, right in Gene Hackman's face. Because that guy was like the best conqueror of all time. So, like, when she said, when Nathan Lane said that, I was like, oh my God, he destroyed him right there. That part made me, like, I was watching this, I'll go ahead and say it. I was watching it at work. At lunch, and like when he said that, I laughed out loud at that part. Like Baney turned around, and he's like, "What?" And I was like, "That just this dude got owned." And he was like, "Got it." But yeah, I'm glad you came up with this one because, again, it was one that it's always been on my radar, but I just never sat down and watched it.
It's always been on your gaydar.
In my gaydar, yeah, yeah. No, it's the thing I wanted to say about the movie was. This is another movie of a case of intolerant people, intolerant, closed-minded people who have to have other people dance around them to suit their needs.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's made '96 or whatever, so I mean, it was becoming better, but it still wasn't where it is today or whatever. Well, to the point where you still have to dance around people about your lifestyle so you don't make them uncomfortable.
Yeah, well, fuck them.
Yeah, no, sorry, fuck them.
But. It was just weird because it'd be one thing if it was just the senator. They were doing it for the senator, but they were doing it mainly for the kids because of the senator.
Yeah,
they couldn't just suck it the fuck up.
No, I think it was the back in that day or whatever. Even still, sometimes when you've got like a conservative father who would disallow a daughter from marrying, and it would probably possibly stick. Like if he says you can't do it, she wouldn't.
Right, but I mean. Comparatively to the scandal that he suffered before going to that thing, you would think that it would have been like, oh God, what's the terrible secret? These are my two dads. Oh, thank God there's not an underage, prostitute like in the story or whatever.
I saw how bad the media was or whatever, like when he left and they're just after him to get sight of him walking out of a drag club would have ruined his career too. Because absolutely would have gotten other people from the same... political party or whatever too would just be like, look at what's going on with this guy, and he'd lose his campaign. Yeah. So I mean, the concern is real, but I mean at the same time, just go meet him at a restaurant or something. Yeah. Don't bring him here.
Also, I've had that scene in my head forever. We are family.
Is that one you'd seen before?
Yeah, when I had seen that clip of him going through the club. Because I think I was watching one of those Watch Mojos, like actors who dressed in drag or something. And I had always had that clip floating around in my head. And I was like, there's context there I'm missing. Yep.
Because everyone else is joyous and Gene Hackman's just dressed up looking like very, very nervous.
I figured, I kind of knew the premise of the movie. So I figured, if anything, he was doing that to show unity. And was like trying to like get into it. And then, of course, it was because of his job at the end of it. And then... you have a smash cut to the wedding. So it's like all the other stuff that like had culminated up to that, none of it mattered.
Yeah, I think it was ultimately them seeing that, or him seeing that, these people would go out of the way to save his career. Maybe they're not bad people. Yeah. Imagine that.
Oh, and then he walked into a camera. Like there was a cameraman holding the fucking camera. If that thing was rolling, they have footage.
They probably have footage, but at the same time, you're like, he never came out, so that footage probably just gets shelved somewhere, which means sometime in the future, someone's going to be like, what's on this tape? Hey, is that the senator?
Yeah, he's lucky it didn't happen today because
Yeah.
people catch fucking everything now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the movie was very enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
I was very. This could have been a have you seen,
Mm-hmm.
and I would have been like, like
Good pick.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like it would have been like very good pick.
I guess it didn't. I never thought of it because I assumed you'd seen it before. Like Nathan Lane, Robin Williams. That just seems like
That seems like a slam dunk for me.
seems like right up your alley.
Yeah. I don't know. It just like I said, it was one of those ones where I'd seen like a bit on it and it was kind of like, okay, one day I'm going to sit down and watch this. But just I never got around to it.
Yeah.
And now I've seen it and now I want to watch it again.
Speaking of slam dunk, what do you think the people of IMDb have scored this movie?
7.2.
That's exactly it.
Is it?
It's that is it exactly.
Oh shit! I was about to go 7.6 and I was like, let's go a little lower.
Since I'm here, what's the Metacritic score? With 18
You
critics.
showed me the screen and I didn't even.
Well, did you see how I put my thumb over the number?
Oh, did you?
I did.
Okay, then that makes sense. Because it was like he showed me the screen and you didn't look at it and you knew he was going to fucking ask you.
I put my thumb over it.
Metacritic is usually the one that's rated by like 1 through 100 kind of a thing?
Yeah, it's 200. There's only 18 critics.
69.
72. I only bring it up because it's 7.2 and 72.
Oh.
And because usually we skip this Metacritic. Who the fuck cares about Metacritic score?
Yeah, I don't.
What about on the
Rotten Tomatoes?
What would the critics give it out of 100%?
8.1.
So 81%?
77.
It's 83%.
Is 83?
Your 81 was closer.
Okay.
What about the audience?
I'm going to say 80. 84. 84.
81.
Hmm.
So the critics gave it slightly more than the audience.
Okay.
Out of 100,000+ ratings for fans. I wonder
Interesting.
if that's real. 58 reviews for critics, 100K plus. I wonder if that's a real number. Maybe, since it's been out since 96 or whatever.
Yeah, but
I think those numbers are accurate. Like 7.2, I think it's a pretty good number for it.
yeah.
I find myself agreeing with IMDb frequently, with just the occasional rare disagreement where it's either a niche I'm not in or it's a niche I am in, where I score too high or I score too low. Like, I'm not into these styles of movies, so I go low, or I am into these style of movies, so I give it higher.
Have you ever seen a movie that has like, it doesn't look like it's your kind of movie, but because the score's so high, you're like, fuck it, I'll give it a try.
Not usually, because I'm generally not looking at movies I'm not super interested in.
Okay. It's so I went through a period where I wanted to start like watching like every Oscar nominated movie, and I went back and watched. I was like, I'm going to watch every Oscar nominated, everything that's won Best Picture. I went back and watched Citizen Kane, and I was like, you know what, you don't have to do that. Let's not be in a rush to do that, because it was just that wasn't a good movie, and maybe I missed something, but like I just didn't enjoy it.
The movies have changed at this point in time too, and I don't know. It seems like when movies were coming out, there was one kind of movie, and it was the movie that was playing in your theater. You go to the theater to see the one movie that's playing, and then as things have gone on, there's just genres, subgenres, and maybe you watch a fuck ton of movies, but the only type of movies you watch are a very specific type of horror movie. So that you're not necessarily a movie fan, you are a horror movie fan or something like that. Which I don't know if you could necessarily be that back when there was fewer movies or just less choices to pick from. So, I mean, like before Blockbuster or whatever, the movies you would see would be the ones that were on in the theater. Then they came out like on VHS, and you could like own a fucking movie.
Yeah.
And watch it whenever you want. And then like Blockbuster came out, now you could just go and look at all these fucking movies that exist. I can watch this movie I've never heard of, and
Such exciting times.
there's something so fun about going to a Blockbuster and just looking over all the fucking choices.
And then, and even more fun than that, go in the Blockbuster, you go to the new video aisle, there's 2 full racks, 2 full bookcases that have that one movie, and then you get to scan them to see if there's that coveted fucking DVD sitting behind one of those cases.
Oh, yeah. Because it's the new movie that came out. Everyone went to the Blockbuster to get it. So you've got to look at all the copies that are gone. And then you're like, there's a copy right there.
And if it wasn't the first or second day that a movie came out, you had to walk over to the desk and go, could you check the return box and see if someone's brought this movie back? And they'd go, get fucked, loser. And you're like, please? And they're like, ugh. And then they'll go through it.
Yeah, they do it anyway. But it's that look on the face of like...
Yeah, I, when at that point... I told Kevin Smith this story. You know what? I'm not going to tell the story because it has nothing to do with it. But Hollywood Video was my video store of choice back then. And the people knew me up there so well that they started setting stuff aside for me that they just thought I would like.
Okay.
Like, the manager of the store was a really cool dude. And, like, I would go in, and he was like, I thought you might, think this movie was interesting, and he'd slide me a tape. And I had ended up watching a lot of stuff that I probably would have never watched because of that guy. And yeah, it was just my forte. But like Hollywood Video had nothing on Blockbuster because Blockbusters were huge. Yeah, it had terrible fucking candy that was overpriced at the cash register. Yeah, it was like going into the fucking mall of video stores.
I still remember going to Blockbuster and there was only ever so much anime out on VHS. So at some point in time, I've watched the entire anime section because that's all that was there. So I'd just go in and just be like, fucking whatever the show this is. And then watch it and you'd be like, man, no more of that. Or yes, more of that. Because I know I've made you guys listen to Revolutionary Girl Utena music before. That was a Blockbuster pick. Where I've just walked into Blockbuster and been like, what the fuck is this anime? And I watched it and I love the fucking music in that anime.
I don't think I remember that.
If I played you some songs, I'm sure you would recognize them.
And would it be on your playlist for D&D?
Probably not, but
you can play it tomorrow, or actually when we get done with this video.
Yeah, I'll play you something. Maybe I've made you listen to it before.
Most likely, God knows.
It's like on car trips, I would have my iPod or whatever, and I'd just be like, "And we're listening to this," because why not?
Did you ever join up with the Green Dragons anime checkout thing? It was like Scott at that point had like a fuck ton of anime.
Yep, sure did. I mean,
you still have the card?
Yeah, I'm only gonna show this to Lance. But
get the fuck out of here! Holy shit! Oh, look at babyface dick! Oh man, dude, that's great. 83. That's fucking. Wait, is that your birthday or is this when you got it?
It's my birth year.
Is it?
Yeah, I was born in 83.
This is great. I wish you could see this, but Neeners.
It's got information on it, but. The card does nothing. I keep it in my wallet. Oh, yeah. No, that went away a long time ago. Yeah. The card does literally nothing, but it's more of like so I can break it out and be like, look what I got. Look what I got, guys. Yeah, that's. I wish I still had mine. I think it was in my wallet that got stolen like a couple of years ago. Because I had like a stack of shit like that. Like just in my back pockets. Just randomly in my back pocket just to show you. I don't throw fucking anything away. That's like... I have all this shit. No, don't show anything on the top. But like a Dragon Con room key from fucking, when is this? 2021. Why is this still in my pocket? It's just there, But like, I can't throw anything away. I have to fucking travel with everything because the one time someone's going to be like, you got this? And I'm like, fuck. So I just keep everything. But yeah. But we're not reviewing Blockbuster videos. No. But it's more of... This is like a type of movie, I think. There's something missing about going to Blockbuster. Just walking in and someone being... Like you said, you'd go in and the guy would just give you movies. Because he thinks you might like them. And then you get that human connection, And that's a fucking... It's a rush. Yeah. And the Netflix algorithm originally was pretty good. But then they just started pushing their own programming. It would be like, recommended for you. How about this latest Netflix thing we put out? Like, why the fuck would I want to watch whatever shit you're putting out? Like, you stop pushing forward movies that I might rate highly. Because I missed the 5-star system where I could go, that movie's a 3. Now it's thumbs up or thumbs down. It's binary. But I don't necessarily like movies in binary. It's not a yes good movie or no bad movie. So sometimes there's a meh movie, and I might be fine watching meh movies.
That's where you just don't give it a grade.
I don't. But now I never give anything a grade.
Oh. Well, it's like a Facebook kind of approach, right? I don't like this post, or I do like this post.
Well, even Facebook.
But even then, you can't even say I don't like this post.
Even Facebook's has like the crying emoji or like the laughing emoji or something. There's ranges where you can be like, oh, I found this one funny or something. Like just yes or no. And I don't like that. I like being able to give it a gradient because I think most things fall in the gradient.
I guess if you put that stuff, then it would be easier to find other people who watch shit like that and gave it like the thumbs up or whatever.
But I think it would be like if I give something 4 stars and other people who gave it 4 stars gave this thing 4 stars, then maybe it lines more. Whereas people are just like yes or no, I find that less accurate.
Yeah.
Because I would give, if I'm giving movies that are meh about thumbs up, I'm all the other things, well, people thumbs this up, and here's another movie that is meh.
That's a really good point.
So I miss gradients. I miss Blockbuster. I don't necessarily miss going to the store per se, like having to leave your house to go watch a movie.
Oh, it was so good.
It's nice being able to just go, I want to watch a movie, plip, and put it on or whatever. But I don't know. And I think this is a movie where you walk into a Blockbuster, and I don't think you see a fuck ton of copies of it per se. Maybe you walk in and see like, oh, Robin Williams, and then you just pick it up.
I'll tell you the best part about going to the video store, not Blockbuster. You would wander the entire store, just looking at the cover of boxes.
You're trying to find something that you're in the mood for.
And something would jump off the shelf with you at one point or another, and you'd pick it up like, what the fuck is this? And you'd watch it just because it had something interesting on the cover. My other favorite part was walking up and down the shelves going, and then you hit that beaded curtain, and you're like, and then you slowly walk by the beaded curtain, knowing that there's probably dudes in there shopping for porn,
Yeah,
which to me was perfectly fine. It was weird. It's weird that you make people feel weird for liking porn. Porn is fine.
Yeah, like most things, as long as it's not in excess. But food is fine, but not in excess, and drinking's fine, but not in excess. Anything is fine, just not in excess.
Yeah, but like all those other examples, you can kill yourself with in excess. Like you can't kill yourself with an excess of porn.
No.
Like unless you tug it off or flick it off, and then you like bleed to death.
I guess you could dehydrate yourself.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's super excess.
Well, you recycle.
To the point where dust comes out.
It's like the joke. It's like the Joker's gun. Pow. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's like my cousin used to say. That's like a sore dick. I wouldn't fuck with it.
All right. Is this about where we want to leave this episode?
Yeah. I mean, do us a favor and put some examples, like some other movies that you would like us to watch that would represent Gay Pride Month, and we'd like to know your thoughts. Like we had some other stuff that we were actually like talking about possibly doing, but you know, we do these videos mainly for us,
Yeah.
but kind of for you. And if you would give us more suggestions of what you'd like to see, then we would do it like a 50-50. Well, okay, we'll do 1 for you, but 3 for us.
1 for you, 1, 2 for me. 1 for you.
1, 2, 3 for me. Hell yeah, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, just put something down in the comments.
Yeah. Man, if you've seen this movie, let us know what you think of it.
Give us a.
Is it a 7? Is it higher? Is it lower?
Yeah, like say in the comment, I'm gonna rate it, and then Nick and I will drop our number in there real quick. You can tell us if we were anywhere near, or if we're like way the fuck off. I'm giving everyone a 0, so these aren't gonna get seen. Except by my wife. I love you, Amber. Thank you.
And comments mostly get seen by me.
That's true.
Yep.
If I didn't have a job that I was constantly moving on, I'd sit down and look every now and then. But sadly, that's not the world I live in. So, contribute to the Patreon. Maybe I can quit and just look at comments all day. That would be amazing. I would record myself farting in a bathtub. Guys, throw money at the Patreon.
All right. I think this one's gone off the rails.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right. Bye, everybody.
See ya.